Welcome to the final episode for 2023 for the Purpose-Driven Leader. The Purpose-Driven Leader. As you look at your life, as you look at the year that's about to end, what have you done? What have you achieved? And who have you become? What have you done? What have you achieved? And who have you become? Have you become the man or the woman that you desired, or you made resolutions to become? Did you do the things that you wanted to do for your career, for your family? What did you do? And who did you become? What did you do? And who did you become? When you look at the mirror, when you look in the mirror, do you like the man or woman that you see there in the mirror? Or do you need to make some adjustments? As we get into 2024, we are probably about 20-something hours, 20 hours away from 2024. But as you look at your life, as you look at the man or the woman that you've become, are you proud of the man or the woman that you've become in 2023? Did you do the things that you said that you were going to do? Or did you encounter some challenges that knocked you out? It's never too late to become the man or the woman that you desire to be. I love what my mentor says. She says that when we are setting goals, the biggest mistake that we tend to make is to forget to make growth goals. Now, as we are about to make, as you are about to make your New Year's resolutions, or as you are about to execute on the New Year's resolutions that you've made, there are two things that I want you to check into that will help you to set goals. Number one, what are the things that you value the most? When you look at your life, when you look at your business, when you look at your career, ask yourself, what are the top things? What are the top 5 things? What are the top 5 things that are most important to me that I value? The top 5. What are the top 5 things that you value? Number one, I'll use myself as an example. Number one, the most important thing for me is God and my relationship with Him. That's the most important thing for me. So, obviously, one of the goals that I have for 2024 is to have a great relationship and fellowship with God. I want to be intimate with God. I want to have a great fellowship and relationship with God. As a result, one of the goals that I'm pursuing, or one of my goals for 2024, is to have an increased intimate relationship with God. I don't want to be the same. As I reflected on 2023, I realized that I did not do enough purposeful work in 2023. So one of the goals that I have for 2024, I want to do more purposeful work. More purposeful work. More purposeful work that I've even got more than 20 seminars and workshops already planned out for 2024. In other words, when you will be encountering me in a workshop or seminar, it will either be in our business seminars or it will be in the School of Kingdom Leadership and Management. I want to become more than I was in 2023. In fact, I love what Les Brown says. He says that used to be's don't make no honey. Used to be's don't make no honey. There comes a time in our lives where you need to stop telling us about who you used to be and what you used to do and what you used to achieve, and show us what are you doing currently. We don't care about what you did yesterday. We don't care about what you did 10 years ago or last year. Show us, what are you doing today? So one of my top priorities, or one of my goals in 2024, is to have a deeper and more intimate relationship with God. It's not about the numbers. I want to grow spiritually. I want to grow with my walk with God. That is the first priority for me. The second priority for me, it's business. My business helps me pursue or my business is the vehicle that I've chosen to pursue and fulfill God's purpose for my life. So the impact that I will be making in 2024 will be determined by the growth and the success of my business. If my business does not grow, if my business does not succeed in 2024, then automatically I know that I did not do purposeful work. So number 2, purpose. Hey, my business, the growth of the amount of income that I'm going to make in 2024 will determine the impact that I have for 2024. That's how I'm going to measure the impact that I have for 2024. And my business is the vehicle that I've chosen to pursue and fulfill my purpose. In other words, my second New Year's resolution, my second goal or my second priority for 2024 is to grow my business, to increase the impact, to reach more people. In other words, what's going to happen in 2024, I'm going to take more invitations to come and speak in churches. Because what I've realized is that I've been turning down a lot of speaking engagements in other churches because I've been focused on training and developing churches in my own church. So in 2024, if you want me to come and speak at your church, if you want me to come train and develop leaders in your church, let me know and I'm coming. But please make sure that the dates that we are setting, let them be on Saturday or during the week. Saturday or during the week, because Sunday I want to go and serve church. I want to go and serve God in my local church. So priority number 2 for me, New Year's resolution number 2 is to grow my business. Because the amount of income that I make in 2024 will be determined by the impact that I make in people's lives in 2024. And the number 3, the third area that I'm focused on in 2024, number 3 is my health. You know, what I noticed is that I forgot, in 2020, is it 2020, is it either in 2023 or 2022, I had 2 car accidents. And in those accidents, one of the things that happened was that my body was shook. And I didn't feel the pains were immediately after the accident, but a month or so later, I started to feel the effects of the accidents. And one of the things that I didn't do in 2023 was I didn't take care of my health. Because whenever I would try to take care of my health, whenever I would try to cycle, the body, my wrists would just be in pain. And I couldn't cycle. And whenever I would try to run, my feet, my joints would be in pain. So in 2023, I started to make excuses. For me not taking care of my health. I started to make excuses to say that my body is in pain. Of course it was in pain, but I used that excuse for the rest of the year. Then when my body started to feel better, I gave an excuse of the weather, saying it's raining and all those other things. And I remember at the peak of 2022 or 2021, I think it's at the peak of 2022, I did not care. I cycled in the rain. I cycled in storms. That's how serious I was about taking good care of my health and well-being. But in 2023, as I reflected, one of the things was that I was afraid. I was afraid that maybe I would get into another accident while I'm cycling. The fear paralyzed me from taking care of my health and my well-being. I was afraid. And instead of me taking care of my health and well-being, I made excuses. I made excuses. And at the time, those excuses felt real, and at the time, those excuses felt that they were justified. But looking back, they were just excuses. So one of the key areas that I want to focus on in 2024 is my health and well-being. And the fourth area that I want to focus on in 2024 is in time wasters. Activities that waste time, or activities that waste my productive time. For example, one of the things that I'm going to attempt to do is to get YouTube out of my phone, TikTok out of my phone, because when I look back, instead of me being productive early in the morning most of the days, what I would do, the first thing I would go is that I would go on YouTube and try to check what new content or what new videos can I learn from. And the worst part is that I would download a lecture or a lesson that I wanted to listen to, but I would not listen to it. I would then look for entertainment. Entertainment, or as I like to call them, foolishness that I would waste my time watching. Foolishness. Things and activities that didn't get me closer and closer to fulfilling and pursuing my purpose. But yet they wasted a chunk of my most productive time. And far worse, when I would even get on TikTok, I would look at my, the Land Cruiser, one of my favorite cars. I would look at the buggies that I want to buy, a Land Cruiser, Hilux, and recently I've started liking the Isuzu. Then I would waste time. Watching comedy, waste time watching buggies, watching other people pursuing and fulfilling their purpose. I would waste time watching people live their own dreams, while my own dreams were waiting for me to get up on my ass. So in 2024, I'm not spending too much time watching other people pursuing and fulfill their dreams while I'm watching them on the sidelines being entertained. No, I refuse. I refuse to spend the rest of my 2024. I refuse to spend a chunk of 2024 watching other people live their dreams while I'm not doing the same. I refuse to make excuses on why I'm wasting time watching other people pursuing their dreams while I'm not doing the same. So for me, in 2024, I want to get back my time. I'm going to stop watching and doing activities that don't move me closer towards the pursuit and the fulfillment of God's purpose for my life in 2024. I refuse to look back on 2024 and I see that the same things. I love what Einstein said. He said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I refuse to do the same things that I did in 2023. That didn't get me closer to fulfilling my purpose. That didn't get me closer to fulfilling my dreams. I refuse to be a used to be. Used to be's don't make any honey at all. You can't eat honey that was made by a used to be. I refuse. So number one, my spiritual work with God, the impact that I'm making in my purpose, my health and my well-being, I've lost count. And the last thing that I want to focus on, spending quality time with the people that matter to me the most. Making memories with the people that matter to me the most. In 2024, I'm not wasting time with people that don't prioritize me. I'm not wasting time. You don't prioritize me, that's on you. And I'm not going to waste my time trying to have a relationship with you. Because there are other important people that I need to be investing my time in. There are more important relationships that I need to spend my time and my investment developing and working on. In 2024, I'm not afraid to go at it alone, man. I'm not afraid to go at it alone. And one of the statements that I've said a lot of times this December was that even if no one is following you, take the journey alone. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. And the most important audience for me to perform to is the audience of one. Me and God in attendance. Whether you support my dreams or you don't, I don't care. I'm going to pursue and fulfill my purpose. Whether you support me in whichever way that I will need your support, whether you support me or you don't, I don't care. I'm going at it alone. I'm going at it alone. In 2024, I'm not waiting for anyone. I'm not waiting on anything. I'm using what I have to pursue and fulfill my purpose. I'm not going to waste money buying equipment that I'm not going to use as often and as much as I want. I'm not going to spend 2024 complaining about performing to an audience of more than one. No. The most important person for me in attendance is God. Whether you support me or my dreams, I don't care. I would appreciate your support, but I'm not going to wait on you to support me. Whether you come to the business seminars or you're not, the show must and will go on. Whether you come to the kingdom leadership workshops, whether you come or not, the show must and will go on. I'm not waiting on anyone. I'm not waiting on anyone's attendance in 2024. If needs be, I'm going at it alone. I don't care who I have. As long as God gives it a stamp of approval, I'm going at it alone if needs be. I would appreciate your support, but I don't need your support. I'm not waiting on you. In 2024, I'm not waiting on anyone to help me pursue and fulfill the purpose and the assignment God has given me. I would appreciate it if you are there, but even in your absence, even if you are not there, I'm pursuing and I'm fulfilling my purpose. And the most important relationship that I'm taking care of is the relationship that I have with God. With men, I appreciate the relationships, but whether you are there or not, I don't care. I'm not going to postpone my purpose waiting on anyone to come and join me. I'm not going to stop pursuing the assignment that God has given me because I'm waiting on anyone. Whether you come or not, I don't care. I'm going at it alone. And as I conclude, I want to share with you something that a story that I always share. In 2023, one of the men that I admired the most and his character, a friend, I remember when I was going to university, him and his wife were the ones that invested in me. They invested in my future. And I remember what they did for me was that one day, I think it was in January, immediately when I got my results and I made the conclusion that I was going to Wits University, may his soul, may him and his wife's souls rest in peace. What they did for me, I've never forgotten, was that they went together as a couple for shopping, and they came with clothes for me, and they said, Mr. Mangabolo, may God bless you. May God enlarge your territory. Here is a package, here is a present for us that will help you wherever it is that you are going. And I remember wearing that trouser. I still have the trouser, the jersey I still have. And I love them very much. I love them very much. And every time I would put the clothes on, I would be reminded of them and the belief that they had in me and my dreams, that they didn't talk about supporting me. They used their own personal resources to support me on my journey. And I remember he died. The wife, I think, died in 2022, and we buried her. Then the husband died in 2023. And as I reflected on him and as I reflected on his life and what he did with me and the lessons that he taught me, One of the most important lessons that he didn't talk to me about, but I observed from him, was that he played small with his dreams. And I remember one time when I was with him, he showed me this guy and said to me, look at that guy, look at that man. That man, I taught him the work that he is doing. The work that this guy is famous in doing in the community, he was taught by me. He's making lots and lots and lots of money, and he was taught by me. His business is bigger, his business is stronger, and he was taught by me. I'm the one who helped him become the man that he has become today. But when I looked at him, and when I looked at his business remained small. He was proud of what he helped others do, but along the way, he forgot to help himself. He forgot to help himself. He was proud of the impact that he made in other people's lives, but along the way, he forgot to make impact in his own self and his own family. And now when I look back at what he did in his business, I see that the business is almost dying, or is dead, in fact. In fact, the business is dead. It died with him. It died with him. That's why entrepreneurship is so important for me. Because the thinking that has gotten you and I this far has created for us problems that this very same kind of thinking can't solve. The thinking that has gotten us this far has created for us problems that this very same thinking can't solve. And I remember reflecting on him and his life, and I said, I don't want to make the mistakes that he made in business. I don't want to make the mistakes that he made in business. I don't want to make the mistakes that he made in business. And you know, when I say this, people tend to think that I'm joking or I'm insensitive. But one of the realities of life, or rather, let me use the term that I usually like using, the tragedy of life. The tragedy of life is that we tend to think we are more important than we are in people's lives. You ignore the important relationships in your life. You ignore your wife. You ignore your children. You ignore your parents, and you spend the rest of your life trying to make or please everyone else. And you forget that you are not as important as you think you are. You are not as important as you think you are to your boss, to your friends, to your colleagues. And I always say that if you want to see how important you are in people's lives, just drop dead and you will see how important you are in people's lives. You will see. And I remember I even attended one funeral. I think the post is somewhere there on social media, where I was attending a funeral physically, but my mind was not there in the funeral. I was there. I was part of those who were marking the register, but I was not there in the funeral because I was just attending the funeral. The person might have thought that she was important to me, but she was not. She was not. Because while I was at the funeral, I was thinking of my own things. I was planning my own activities, planning my own chores and events, making appointments. And that's the mistake that we make. We tend to think that we are important to people, and we are really not. Of all the people that you want to spend a majority of 2024 impressing, of all the people that you've been spending the rest of your life, or you've spent a chunk or most of your life trying to impress by doing things, using money that you don't have to make relationships, to please people that you think you matter to, you don't matter. You don't matter. At your funeral, you know what those people will be doing? They will be like me. We will be concerned about our own things. We would be doing things that will help us forget you. In fact, we would have had forgotten about you even in the funeral. We won't shed a tear for you. All we'll be thinking about is how long will the MC be? How long will the pastor be? And how short we want them to be so that we can finish everything so fast and go and get on with our work. Get on with our own priorities of our own lives. If you drop dead right now, we will be in your funeral. But we will not even be thinking about you. We will not even be missing you at the moment. We'll be thinking about whether the beef is cooked well. Is it undercooked, overcooked, or raw? Will we even have a chance to have the chicken and enjoy the salad? That's what we'll be thinking about at your funeral. We'll be busy on our phones, thinking about our own children, thinking about the important people in our own lives. While we are at your funeral, while you had spent the rest of your life, however short or long that life has been, trying to impress us, trying to win favor, trying to get our approval. And there we will be at your funeral, not even thinking about you, not even missing you, and not even shedding a tear for you. That is the tragedy of life. Maybe we'll even be dancing. Maybe if maybe it's a Christian funeral, when the pastor asks for a hot chorus, we'll even be dancing, having had forgotten about you. That is the tragedy of life. At your funeral, we will not be thinking about you. We will not even shed a tear for you. And the only people that will shed a tear for you, the only people that their lives will never be the same because of your absence, will be your family and your loved ones. So as we go into 2024, make sure that you prioritize the important relationships. Make sure that the relationships that matter to you the most, your family, your spouse, and your children, make sure that you do take good care of those relationships. Because in the end, those are the relationships that matter. And the relationships with anyone else, they don't matter. We won't think about you at your funeral. We won't miss you. We won't cry for you. We won't even shed a tear for you. What we'll be doing in your funeral will be having conversations with our neighbors about the things that we want to do, making plans to go out on trips, to party, and to forget about you. My friend, have a great the rest of 2023. And may God bless you with foolishness enough for you to believe in your own dreams. May He give you the courage to go after your dreams in 2024. My friend, it's been a plum pleasing pleasure, as Les Brown always says. Thank you for spending the rest of 2023 with me, investing in your time and your resources with me. I will see you in 2024, and I will find you in the ring of life. And always remember this: there are no rewards or no statues erected for critics. Come into the ring of life, pursue and fulfill your purpose in 2024. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next year.